Our first look at official Xbox Series X next-gen gameplay, courtesy of Dirt 5, hit the internet today, and a lot of people seem to be mixed, but for me, I'm incredibly excited, and Xbox Series X retail units have been seen at warehouses. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everyone's having a great day, and if you guys could do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and please share this video out on social media. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys for all the continued support. We are less than 1 month away from the launch of the Xbox Series X, but pictures of the retail units have started popping up online, and someone even got their hands on the system and did an unboxing before they privated the video. And the first Xbox Series X gameplay footage debuted today, Dirt 5 running at 120 frames on the Xbox Series X, and the response was definitely not something I expected, although probably I should have. There was a lot of people disappointed with how Dirt 5 actually looked, and there was plenty of people that said, hey, it looks pretty good, but I'm really excited for the frame rate options, the 60 frames, but more importantly, the 120 frames mode on a console for perhaps, I think, the very first time. Now, before we get into my thoughts about the whole Dirt 5 stuff, I kind of wanted to briefly talk about these pictures from the warehouses for the Series X retail units. Now, I'm going to throw the pictures up on screen here, and I don't know whether this is Best Buy or Amazon or Walmart. My best guess is probably Amazon, but you can see that the boxes are there ready to be shipped out to everybody who printed the system on November 10th. Logistically, it's really no surprise that these stores already have them, but I'd be really interested in seeing what you guys think about the retail packaging. It has the Series X, a kind of an angled approach at the front. You can see there it says like 4K 120 frames on the box, and on the back is a picture of Master Chief from Halo Infinite, and it says power your dreams. And once again, I'm reminded by the fact that Halo Infinite was supposed to be there at launch. We've seen Master Chief as part of Taco Bell commercials and the first official Power Your Dreams ad. There was a lengthy section about Master Chief and Halo. Now he's actually on the box. Halo Infinite was supposed to be the centerpiece of the Xbox Series X launch and marketing, but I don't think it's going to significantly impact how many people buy the system. I mean, clearly pre-orders are already sold out. People know that Halo Infinite is coming next year. It's just a shame Microsoft's kind of vision and their plan for launch of the system didn't exactly go completely to plan. And then here's a wider picture of the warehouse where people will load these onto trucks to be sent off to distribution centers, whether it's Amazon or Best Buy. But just looking at the pallet, I wonder how many Series X consoles actually can fit on a pallet. It looks like at the front you can see that there's 8 on one side and 8 on the other side for 16. You would assume it's the same on the side you can't see, so that would be 32, but then there's some in the middle, so maybe this fits about 48 consoles, a little bit less. And the reason why this is all exciting is because less than 28 days, next generation will be here. Soon enough, you'll get notifications that Amazon and Best Buy have kind of taken your money and they're getting ready to ship your consoles. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen a video that someone was able to get their hands on the retail unit and unboxed it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it. He does have the video privated, so I wonder if Microsoft reached out to him. But I am looking forward to getting my Series X on November 10th so I can unbox it for myself. But of course, the big story today is the first official gameplay of Xbox Series X, a next-gen game, even though it's a cross-gen game, and that is of Dirt 5. And it kind of broke the internet. You definitely have one camp who says, this game looks worse than a 360 game and nobody should play it, and the developers should be ashamed that they made something look that bad. And of course, you have the other camp being like, hey, I think that looks pretty good for a launch game. 60 frames is going to be pretty sweet in both of the modes that have it. And then of course, Microsoft promised that this gen would feel a little bit different, and that's going to be 120 frames. And that's why I'm interested in Dirt 5 more than I probably would have been, and why I'm really excited about next gen in particular. Now, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Microsoft is going to have news like almost every single week. And the rallying cry for some people have been, where's the next gen gameplay? We haven't seen anything running on an Xbox Series X, even though a ton of press, even though a ton of influencers actually have the Series X and they're testing it out, playing backwards compatibility games, testing out the loading. What people want to see is that sweet, sweet next-gen gameplay. But of course, developers are still working hard at trying to finish their games, and even still, this Dirt Dirt 5 footage was just a preview build. It's an older build that the devs said a lot of things are fixed for the final version, and I get that people want to see that next-gen goodness. They want to see Watch Dogs Legion running on a Series X. They definitely want to see Assassin's Creed Valhalla on a Series X. They want to see Cyberpunk. And trust me, I want to see those games running on Series X just as much as anybody else, but I also know that developers are trying to finish their games for multiple systems in a year that has been less than optimal for game development, and yet people constantly complain on Twitter and say it's not good enough or where is it? All the gameplay and everything that you want will come in due time. Microsoft said last week that we would see Series X gameplay really soon, and what do you know? A week later, we have our first official look at Dirt 5 and Yakuza running on the Series X. Who knows what new games we'll see running on Series X next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, all leading up to the launch of the Series X on November 10th. It's all a plan, guys. Trust me, all this information and all the gameplay will be coming. And one of the things I appreciate about Digital Foundry and Jeff Grubb over at VentureBeat is that they actually took the time to capture the game at the highest quality possible, so 4K 60 frames, and they didn't cheap out at the bitrate. You see, when you render your videos, you can choose a bitrate. The lower the bitrate, the worse it's gonna look. The higher the bitrate, the better it's going to look. And that's why Digital Foundries always look amazing, because they're captured at 4K and then they're rendered at the highest bitrate you can possibly do it. Sure, when I actually sit down in front of my TV and play Dirt 5, it's going to look a lot better than what I see on YouTube simply because of the compression. But my God, if you actually read through all the Twitter threads and the discourse about this game, it is so completely toxic. People are making it seem like Dirt 5 is this ugly mess of a game that looks no better than something from the Xbox 360. Of course, there's a lot of fanboy nonsense when it comes to PlayStation versus Xbox, but the thing here is that Dirt 5 is a multi-platform game. It's also going to be on PlayStation 5, and it's either going to look just like the Xbox Series X version, maybe a little bit better, but probably a little bit worse than the Xbox Series X version. So I don't understand people attacking the developers or people attacking what the game looks like. Now, is Dirt 5 the best looking game of all time? Absolutely not. It's a good looking game, and if you're worried that this is the visual quality of games that you'll be playing on Xbox Series X, please, that is just fanboy bull. Every single generation you get amazing looking games, from first party like Gears 5, from third party like Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar, or Metro Exodus from 4A Games, and even on the PlayStation side, you got Last of Us Part 2 from Naughty Dog and God of War from Sony Santa Monica. They're going to be third party developers out there that are going to push these systems to give you the best looking game that you've ever seen. But not every developer is created equal, and clearly Dirt 5 prioritized frame rate over the visuals, and I'm perfectly okay with that, and that's why this generation is going to be so exciting for me. Digital Foundry says, all of which brings us to how the game performs, at least in this non-final code, and keep that in mind. Non-final code, it's a preview version. The good news is that the choice is yours for how you want the experience delivered. We're given 3 playback modes on Series X, one for frame rate, another for image quality, and finally 120 Hz. Final metrics are yet to be nailed down and may will improve when the game ships, but as it stands, the frame rate mode runs at a dynamic 3840 by 2160, targeting 60 frames. Visually speaking, the game does a very good job sticking at 4K. The car selection, opening and track scenes, and action after splintering from the pack, all 4K. The only slight drop resolution-wise is at the starting grid to 3328 by 1872, but impressively, that's it. Now, this paragraph really kind of encapsulates why I'm so excited about the Series X and PlayStation 5 generation. The choice for how you want the experience delivered to you. Specifically Dirt, with 3 modes, an image mode, a performance mode, and 120 frames mode. Those kind of options weren't present on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So if you played a game in 2014 or 2015 or 2016 and the performance was less than ideal, if you had a 30 frames game dropping to 20 or 15, you were just stuck with that. Now, eventually it did get better with the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. Some games offered a performance mode in addition to a resolution mode, and it really kind of highlighted what I wanted to see from Series X and PlayStation 5. I need frame rate. When given the choice, I will always choose between 60 frames versus 30, and that's something I wanted to see on the next generation consoles, and it looks like we're getting that, and we're going going even beyond. I remember when Phil Spencer said that the feel of this generation coming up will be different than any generation before, and it's because of frame rate. 60 frames as a standard, hopefully, but you're going to see a lot of games run at 120 hertz. Dirt 5 as a launch game running at 120 hertz, to me, is pretty impressive. I have a TV that can actually display that, so I'm definitely going to check that out. And then you look at something like Halo Infinite, the multiplayer is going to be at 120 hertz. And even a franchise that has been around forever, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for the first time ever, that campaign on console is going to run at 60 frames, and that is the mode that I'm going to choose. Sure, developers are going to have to compromise on image quality and resolution and shadows and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter because performance is the most important thing to me. I think Codemasters and the developers of Dirt 5 should be celebrated that they're able to get this game out on multiple consoles for a new generation and have 120 hertz mode. Think about it. This is a cross-gen game that's launching on the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series S, and the Xbox Series X. And it's also coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PlayStation 5, and also PC. There's a lot of different configurations they need to worry about, and the game looks really good and it seems optimized for launch, so I don't really understand all the hate being thrown at the developers, or the hate being thrown at Xbox Series X, or the hate just in general from fanboys on both sides about these consoles. It's Dirt 5. Have you played a Dirt game in recent generations? Did you see the initial reveal trailer back in April? Have you seen any of the gameplay videos they've uploaded a couple weeks ago? You knew exactly what Dirt 5 is going to look like, and it looks like Dirt 5. I don't understand why people were so up in arms today about how the game looks instead of talking about the performance that the game is going to offer, which is what makes this next generation so exciting to me. Either way, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, share this video out on social media, and please tell a friend about the channel. If you want to be notified immediately whenever I drop a new video, make sure you hit that notification bell. If you want to take your support for the channel to the next level, you can always hit the join button where you will get access to channel badges and emotes for the Xbox 2 podcast that we do every Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that take the time out of your day to do so, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Later, guys.